said about this opportunity. If you heard what they said, it just makes sense. It's energy, it's cell phones. I mean, who here doesn't use electricity? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Right? Who here does not use a cell phone? Right? If you leave your cell phone at home, what are you going to do when you go out?
Go back.
You're going to go back and get it, exactly. We need these things, and we have an opportunity to get paid off all of them. And I am living proof that you don't have to be an expert. Guys, I am a 6'5", 260-pound, African-American Latin dance instructor that doesn't speak Spanish. There you go. And I've been doing it for over 10 years and getting paid from it. So who would have thought that that would have been the life that I was living 10 years ago? But it was something that happened to me a little earlier on that gave me the confidence to say, hey, listen, if you really believe in something and there's just a chance, you have to take it. And you have to listen to other people that have been there before, that have actually had the success. And don't listen to other people who have failed. So just a little bit about my story. I had a little bit of struggle when I was in the 10th grade. But you know, I made it through 10th grade after the third time. And you know, I did 10th grade so many times that they actually let me skip the 11th grade because they figured, you know what, he got that down pat. Let's just put him in the 12th grade and get this guy out of here because he's not fitting in the chairs anymore. True story. And I was playing basketball at that time, and I was pretty good, and I was being recruited by schools. And they were looking at me and they said, this kid has some potential. But then when they found out that I was having trouble in school, they started to back off a little bit. They said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to see how you do your senior year, see how you do on the SATs, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to you then. Well, what that really meant is that we're going to go recruit some other people because we don't think that you're going to make it. And so when I graduated from high school, I had no opportunities for colleges. And it was kind of disappointing because I was the youngest of three, and both of my sisters had already been in college. So it was like I'm the only boy, and I'm supposed to be the one that made it, and that was it. I had blown it. So I had a chance to go to a junior college because I had a friend that went there. It was Gloucester County Community College right over here in Jersey. And I went and took the test, and the guy was like, man, you're one of the smartest people we've ever had come through here. And I said, well, the test was a 9th grade test. How smart do you have to be to pass it? Mm-hmm. So I was all set to go, and then it was on a Saturday that I was sitting in my living room. I'll never forget it. And I was watching cartoons, because at 18, yes, I still watch cartoons. And I was eating Frosted Flakes because, yes, at 18, I still love Frosted Flakes. And this guy called me and he said, my name is Mark Simons and I am the coach of Elon College, North Carolina. So I said, well, where the hell is that? And he said, it's in Elon College, North Carolina. And I said, well, where the hell is that? And he said, well, it's in a town called Burlington, near Greensboro. And so I still didn't know what he was talking about, but I just said hell 2 times to a man that I didn't even know. So I figured I'd let it go and let him keep talking. So long story short, he said, listen, we have one more scholarship left, and we've been looking for a certain type of player. And so we called around and we found a guy in Virginia that ran this tournament. And we described the type of player that he was looking for. And he said, you're just in luck because I have the perfect player for you. Call this gentleman named Tennis Young, who's a coach, and he'll connect you with the guy that we're looking for. And that's how he got my number. So he said, if all your transcripts pan out, then we are going to give you a scholarship to go to this school. So I'm all excited. I'm talking to my sisters. I'm saying I may have a chance to go to a 4-year school. So I go back and I talk to my coach of this junior college that I'm about to attend. And I said, listen, I'm so excited because I get this opportunity to go to a 4-year school and they're going to give me a scholarship. And so I'm just waiting for him to give me his blessings. And so he turns around and he says, you know what? That's a lie. He said, that's a lie. He said, there's no way they're going to give you a scholarship. He said, they're not going to do that. He said, these schools, they're going to recruit you and they're going to sit you at the end of the bench because that's what they do, because they don't want you playing for some other team. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that makes sense, but he is a coach, so he may know better than I do. But something about it was wrong, because why would somebody who doesn't know me recruit me just to sit me on the bench? So I went and I talked to my sisters, who had both finished school by that time, and they said, if you have an opportunity to go to a 4-year school, you take it and you go. And so I listened to them and I went. And my first year was tough. I was struggling because I wasn't prepared for school. Let's just say after my first semester, my GPA, let's just say all the numbers were on the other side of the decimal point. I mean, that's how bad it was. I just didn't quite get it. But I was persistent and I stayed there and I continued to get better. I continued to learn the system. after 4 years of being there, I was the captain of the team 2 years in a row. We had won the conference championship when we were there. I ended up being homecoming king of the school, and to today, I was still the only player to ever be carried off the court. Now, how would any of that have happened if I would decide to listen to somebody else who was giving me some false information based off of his experiences that were negative? Because see, this coach only dealt with players that didn't succeed. Not to say that going to junior college wasn't a success, but it wasn't the step that most players wanted to take, that next level, that thing that you dream about. And sometimes in life, we have opportunities that seems like they can be good for us, but we don't believe that we can step out of that comfort zone and take that next step. And when we don't, we have other people that can easily tell us, you know what, this will not work. This is not real. People don't succeed in that. Well, you know what? It's because the people that they know don't succeed. So they're only giving you information based off of their own experiences. But if you really want to find out what's true and what's real, talk to people that have been there and done that, as they say. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
And so tonight, you've heard from two people who have been there and done that. Like Mike said, to be a senior director, that's the top 1% of the company. And so you heard from Mark Evans, who was in the top 1% of the company and knows all about wireless and told you about this opportunity. You heard from Mike Fody, who he didn't talk about this today, but Mike, as polished as he looks, Mike is kind of messed up. He's not as sharp as he looks, guys.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
But the thing about it is he saw this opportunity and he was in a position where he felt like he needed this. You know, he didn't have a job at the time when he saw it. So he says, you know what, I'm either going to do this or bust. And you have to, if you're in that position where you need to do something different, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. But let's be honest, how big of a leap of faith is $400? I mean, we've all done crazier things with $400, yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So just to sum up what you saw, it's energy and it's mobile service. It's something that everybody uses. It's a simple system. As Mike said, all you have to do is invite people here and we do the presentations for you. And listen, if you see this and you don't think it's for you, do the person a favor that invited you here and just become their customer. And one thing that Mike didn't mention, even as a customer, you can still refer the people and get a check anyway. See, there's actually 6 checks, not 5. As a customer, when you refer those 15 people, you get a check every month, just like I get the $276. So if you just do that, you're helping the person that invited you and you're doing something for yourself. So guys, I hope you like what you saw. If you have any questions, we'll stick around. But that's all I have tonight. Thank you guys, I appreciate you.